and welcome to another video. And today I want to talk about a topic that has started to concern me, concern some of my friends, some of my colleagues, coworkers, other friend gamers, whatever you want to call them, in I'd say the last week regarding next-gen games. So I'm talking Xbox Series X, I'm talking PS5, you can throw the Series S in there as well if you want, but next-gen games, we're dealt two really big blows this week. Both of them have to deal with the same issue, which is frame rate, which has become a huge hot button topic in the last couple of days. Late last week, it was uncovered and unveiled on a Discord post, of all places, for people that are, I guess, influencers that are playing Gotham Knights right now, that the game has no performance mode. This is due to the fact that they have locked the game to only have ray tracing. So because of that, the frame rate can only be as high as 30 frames. They can't push it to 60. There's no performance mode in this game, which since this posting, since this has come out, so many people have, put their 2 cents in and said, hey, like, come on, man, you can put a performance mode into this game and it'll be fine. Like, you don't have to have ray tracing on, just turn that off. Lower the resolution a little bit and you can achieve 60 frames on these systems. There's absolutely no reason for this. And just as the internet and collectively gamers and stuff are just starting to like get over the hump of Gotham Knights, which, if I'm being honest, is a massive, massive Batman fan. You guys know that on the channel. You can see all the Batman stuff even behind me just in this room. You guys knew I did a couple videos on the Batman earlier this year. You guys know I'm a big Batman fan. And I have like zero interest in Gotham Knights at launch. Like, this is a game I might play. Originally I was saying Black Friday, but now at this point, like, I might do what I did with Outriders and wait a year until the game's like $20 and then pick it up after it has a ton of patches and hopefully a performance mode. So on the flip side of this, we also have another huge game actually releasing today at the date of the release of this video, which is A Plague Tale Requiem, the sequel to A Plague Tale Innocence, which came out, gosh, I want to say it was 2019. Also, a game that is forcing ray tracing, no performance mode, locked 30 frames per second frame rate. This is starting to become a trend, and this is starting to become an increasingly concerning trend, especially for me, especially for some of my friends, because we've been waiting for a generation of consoles that has everything at 60 frames. Okay, I feel like I've been waiting for this since the launch of the Xbox One and the PS4, and then it really didn't happen that often last generation until we got to the interim systems like, the One X and the PS4 Pro sometimes would achieve 60 frames, or at least have a performance mode that does that. And with this generation so far, it's pretty much been across the board either 60 frame games or the game will have a lower resolution performance mode that can achieve 60 frames. I mean, even as recently as mentioning the very, very defiled Saints Row reboot, which is a terrible fucking video game, as I've said on my channel, that game has 7 different performance modes, and you can achieve mostly a 60 frames if you have 120 Hz TV. Now, the one thing I've seen at least about Plague Tale is if you have 120 Hz TV, you can trick the game into thinking it can run at 40 frames per second, but why is that an obtainable goal? That is a very much not a smooth frame rate, and you're going to notice, but like 40 frames per second, you're going to notice a real jarring effect with that. It's weird. This is strange. It's very concerning to me. It's concerning to a lot of people I've talked about. I don't know if this is a trend we're going to see continue as more and more games start to release. We're getting close to 2023, where a lot of these games that were delayed in 2022 are going to start hitting. I'm wondering if, because of all the delays that we received, if these games are going to just get shoved out the door without performance modes, and then they'll have those added later just to hit the dates that they've started to set for some of these titles. Like, if I'm being honest, I can't imagine Starfield next year launching without some sort of performance mode. At this point, it has to happen. or it's going to be a real sad day for a lot of people out there that own a Series X. It's a weird trend. I don't like this trend. This is something we got rid of. We got away from it when the Series X and the PS5 hit. I don't remember seeing a lot of 30 frames games. The only one that I can recall at, me just thinking off the top of my head, was the Medium, which was kind of one of the first Xbox Series X only games that came out. Now that game I gave a pass because of what the developer is trying to do, because it was basically layering and running the game in two different instances at the same time, because it had that split screen mode, which honestly didn't add anything to the game, and because of it, it ran at 30 frames. Also, I'm gonna sit here and I'm making a video bitching about frame rate. A game like Resident Evil, old school, I'm not talking current Resident Evil, but those, the tank control games like that, 30 frames you can get by. You'll be okay. It's not the end of the world. But for something, especially something like the sequel to A Plague Tale, which has a Series X version now and a PS5 version that runs at 60 frames, incredibly jarring to step backwards. For Gotham Knights, technically speaking, this is a game that is following the Arkham games, and it has the Arkham combat. I don't know, for viewers out there watching this video, if you played those games on PC, they run at 60 frames, and jumping back from 60 to 30 for a game like that is incredibly jarring. Once you go 60, you don't want to go back for a game like that. So I just find it ridiculous, especially on Gotham Knights, when that game canceled its last gen ports like PS4 and Xbox One. So they said, quote, it can't be made. We can't hit the specs that we want to hit. There's too many limitations. So instead, now we're getting lesser versions on next gen. It just does not make sense. So it's an incredibly concerning trend. I don't like it at all. I don't want to see it for other big games. I mean, we still have some big games coming out this year. God of War is going to hit in less than a month. If that game is also 30 frames, it's going to be a real sad day. So, anyways, guys, I want to know out there. I just want to make a quick video on this topic because I've seen a lot of people talking about it. How do you guys feel? Are you accepting the fact that some games might not be able to hit 60 frames this generation? Or do you think all developers should mandate and have a 60 frame performance mode and just lower the resolution? For me personally, I always will choose a performance mode with a 60 frames option over a higher fidelity, and that's me. I like the smoothness, and I can't go back. So leave a comment in the comment section below. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, until next time.